These new Claude MCP super agents are absolutely insane. So listen up. Claude just dropped an absolutely game-changing update where you can basically make every other AI look like a toy. And what I mean is I'm about to show you how to turn Claude into your own personal super agent where you can link it to thousands of apps directly inside the chat. So for example, you can see here I can generate images inside Claude. I can do deep research with all the other tools I connect. I can get it to create Google documents, research the web, go off, do whatever I want, and then put it into a Google Doc with the link for me. I can connect basically any app I want, create an MCP server of my own that's connected and logged into all my apps. And then you can actually, for example, generate images, post to social media, schedule calendar events, send emails, create PayPal invoices, whatever you want using this AI super agent inside Claude. So in the next few minutes, I'll walk you through exactly how to connect Claude to Zapier, PayPal, and over 5,000 other apps with no technical skills needed. This is what everyone was hoping for when it came to ChatGPT plugins, but Claude actually delivered. And the best part is you can set all of this up in a few minutes, even if you're not technical like me. What you see here is a brand new article from Zapier. They've said empower Claude.ai to work across your apps with Zapier MCP. Now, this means that you can use it directly inside Google Chrome or whatever browser you use. And basically what you want to first of all do is make sure you're on the max plan. So if we go to settings, it depends whether you've subscribed through your phone or not, but you can see here I'm on the max plan. I'm actually subscribed via iOS, so I had to change the subscription on my phone. And then from there, we unlock two options. Number one, Claude Research, and number two, the ability to add new integrations into Claude, which is a big deal, right? So this was literally just updated today. And we can read this information about custom integrations using remote MCP. So essentially, this allows you to connect Claude to services that have not been verified by Anthropic and allow Claude to access and take action inside these services. So basically, there's less security on setting up your own MCP servers, which means that you can connect them to Claude, and this is a brand new update. So for example, here you can see the data that says custom integrations let you connect Claude directly to the tools and data sources that matter most to the workflows. This enables Claude to operate within your favorite software and draw insights from the complete context of your external tools. I also showed a video recently on Lutra AI agent, which is super powerful, but honestly, if this can do similar things and it's built inside Claude, it could be an absolute game changer for Claude. So we'll be running through exactly how to set this up. I'll try and figure out how to set it up today. Obviously, I'm not that technical, but we can give it a whirl. And if you're wondering, okay, what are MCPs? What does that even mean? So MCP is an open standard created by Anthropic for AI applications to connect to tools and data, right? So for example, inside Claude, you can now connect like Google Drive or your emails and that sort of thing. So if we go to settings, then we'll go to profile, then we'll scroll down Google Drive, Google Calendar, Gmail, even GitHub, right? But now the optionality to add more is really the new update that's come along here. So if we want to get started, we can choose from existing integrations. All right, so those are the pre-built ones like you see right here. So for example, like Atlassian, Zapier, Cloudflare, Sentry, PayPal even, Asana, Linear, etc. And then you can also build your own MCPs and then plug those into Claude as well, which is pretty crazy if you ask me, all right? And this is available on the Claude Max plan. So that's what you want to upgrade to. I think it was about $150, something like that for me. They did offer like a deal as well for the first month. So we'll just test it out. Prince says hello, and good Belida says, Claude searched the internet for me today. I didn't even ask, just to update his knowledge. That's what we're talking about. Very nice indeed, my friend. Actually, let's just check. I know the search feature for Claude right now, it seems to only be available in certain countries, but let's see if we can search. So I'm just going to say, okay, search the internet for what happened today, because last time I checked, it's only available in the US. But we'll see if we can get access to that. If not, we might have to toggle the research option as well. Yeah, so it's searching the web. Beautiful. Look at that. So we can actually search the web. That is absolutely amazing. It's just made Claude 10 times more powerful. All right, 3 updates. Web search, available worldwide. Research, which is in beta. And number 3 is integrations. So I really want to figure out the integration section here. You can remove or edit integrations as well once you've done that. And it also says you can enable integrations via the search and tools menu in the chat interface. For integrations that require authentication, click connect to go through to the authentication workflow. And then you've got using Claude with research. So research allows Claude to deeply investigate queries by searching through hundreds of internal and external sources. During the research process, Claude can invoke tools from integrations automatically without further approval. This is a really big step for Claude. Like, they're just basically making it 10 times more powerful by, number one, connecting it to the internet, and number two, connecting it to like way more tools. So this is going to be super interesting. I'm going to first of all test the research options. That seems to me like deep research that you have inside ChatGPT and these other models, deep research agents. So let's test this out. What I'm going to say now is I'm going to plug this in and say, okay, tell me everything you know, plus research, the latest Claude MCP updates integrations feature that just came out early May 2025. Plus, give me some examples of how people are using it. So it's contemplating, and I've toggled the research beta feature here. So it said, I'll do some comprehensive research on the latest Claude MCP updates and integrations. This is a very recent development, so I'll gather the most up-to-date information. And now it's actually making a plan, which is quite interesting. So it's planning out the research process. And then you can see this updating in the canvas over here. Vishwa says, love from India. Great work, man. Thank you for your hard work. Appreciate you too. Thanks so much for watching. And we've got the initial plan coming right here. By the way, if you want weekly Q&As, if you want to just ask any information that you want, if you want to jump on live calls, etc. about AI, then just join the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. But let's keep going now. So we're waiting for that to load. What I'm also going to do in the meantime is try and figure out the integrations option. So let's have a look here. Custom integrations, integration name, and integration URL. So how do we set this up? Let's figure this bad boy out. So log into Zapier and head to the Zapier MCP dashboard. All right, let's try that first of all. So we're logging in Zapier now, which is stage number 1. And then we're going to select new MCP server. So let's test this out. And then we add a client and we create an MCP server. So we can choose Claude, Cursor, Windsurf, or other. So let's select Claude here. And we'll call this Claude MCP server. I'll put live stream 2nd of May. Create the MCP server. And now we can add tools inside that. Okay, nice. So let's see what we got here. I don't want to do the usual sort of send an email BS because I know tons of people have seen that. And that's just probably going to bore people a little bit, all right? So let's see what else we can create with this. Let's see what notes we got here. See if we can check Fathom. No tools. Well, let's have a look what we got. Oh, that's interesting. So you can actually connect OpenRouter or ChatGPT and that sort of thing. I'm really interested to see what other people are using to build stuff like this. Let's have a look. We got a PayPal one as well here. Thinker AI Studio says, did Google drop a voice agent builder similar to VAPI? I'm not sure about that. I've not tested anything recently, but they're always building new stuff. So let's see what we got here. All right, so this is how we connect PayPal. Let's have a look here. So we're going to type in PayPal and then mcp.paypal.com/SSE. Okay. Shout out to Hemanth, the legend, by the way, for sharing this. All right, so we need to copy that. So that's the address you're going to use, which is the one we'll plug in a second. This is taking its time, taking its sweet time. And then we'll go back here and we'll type in PayPal. And then we'll see if we can connect this. Now, do we need to put a HTTPS? Yes, we do. Okay. We'll hit add. And now we have PayPal plugged in. So if we hit connect over here, there we go. All right, so let's just log in to PayPal. I'll do that off screen. Beautiful. All right, so if we go back on screen now, you can see it says your integration was successfully connected. How easy was that, by the way? You just type in PayPal and then you type in the web address. So we'll click on view your integrations. If we scroll down, we've got PayPal. And it's got two options: creates PayPal invoice links and fetches details of your PayPal transactions. Now we're going to go back to the new chat and we'll click on the plus and see if we can use the integration. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is how you do it. So you click on the settings, the cog over here, and then we've got web search connected, so we can toggle that on and off. And then we can also select PayPal, and we've got our tools already selected, so we didn't need to select anything there. Then what we're going to say is, okay, create an invoice for Vic at juliangoldie.com, $500 for yearly access to the AI Profit boardroom. Let's see if it can do that. So it's using the PayPal invoice creation. And you can see here it says Claude would like to use the external integration, review each action carefully, blah, blah, blah. We'll click on allow always. And that's taking information from our live account on PayPal. And then it just needs the original address. So you need to plug in your PayPal address that you're using for your account. I'll copy that email. And boom shakalaka, your invoice for the AI Profit Boardroom yearly access has been created. Here's your PayPal invoice link. Let's click on that. We'll open the link up. And we've now replaced our finance team. Okay, that was really easy. We can download the invoice. It's ready to go. We can PayPal it. We can send that to someone. That was so good. Awesome. All right, I'm going to send that to my team so they get it set up. Way easier to set up invoices with PayPal that way. Loving it. All right, so that was just a basic integration, but obviously you can have more and more tools inside here, along with your own custom integrations, which we'll carry on setting up with Zapier. So let's go back to Zapier now. I'm really interested to see, okay, what can we actually do with this? So you can connect it to your CRM, which is going to be interesting. Let's try that. So if we go over to Zapier and we'll continue with the MCP setup, and inside here, we're going to select, let's see what we got here. I wonder what tools we get inside Zoom. So find a recording and download it, get a meeting summary, create a meeting, delete meeting recordings, API requests, and update Zoom meeting. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go with something basic then, just to keep it really easy. So we can connect Google Calendar. So let's select that. And then we just choose an account. So I assume that we can connect all of these if we want to. So let's have a look. Create a new calendar. Create a detailed event. All right, nice. So let's set that. We'll connect a new account here inside the calendar options. Just going to do that in the background. We'll hit allow. And that connects our email. And then you can choose between whether you select the start date yourself or whether you have AI generate a value for this field. The same with end time. So we'll hit save now. And now we've got the calendar connected. Now, if we want to connect our MCP client to Claude, I would assume we go to the connect section here. All of it so far seems very simple, which I really like. So now we're going to copy that URL. Again, you would go to your profile and then integrations. So let's go back here. Settings, profile, add more, integration URL, and we'll type in Zapier then. Then we'll click add. I assume we're going to have to connect it. So if we click on connect over here, it says Claude AI wants to access your Zapier account. Okay, boom. Now, the good thing about selecting Zapier, I think, is like you've got thousands of tools inside there that you can use to connect to your AI, right? So for example, if you connected this to PayPal, that's just one app, one integration, not that efficient. But if you connect it to Zapier and you use the MCP that way, then you can have multiple apps inside that MCP server, all connected to your account. And from there, you can make Claude 10 times more powerful, right? So if we click on the plus sign here, we should have Zapier inside. So let's just have a look. Settings, Zapier is enabled, and we've got all of these tools right here. So Google Calendar, everything else, right? I also wonder whether you can actually add tools inside the chat, but we'll test that in a second. I don't know if you can or not. All right, so let's say, okay, create a calendar event for an MCP party with Vic at juliangoley.com for Sunday, 5 p.m. Let's see if that can work. Honestly, if this works, and if we just keep adding more tools inside here, Claude is ahead of the game, right? Like, they're absolutely destroying all the competitors right now, because all these other AIs are so reliant on you, like, going to another tab and connecting it and all that sort of thing. But if you can do it all inside Claude, it's going to be absolutely insane. So let's see what we can do. So it said, great, I've created a calendar event for the MCP party, Sunday, 4th of May, 2025, 7 p.m., based on your local time zone. The invitation has been sent to Vic, blah, blah, blah. Let's check it now. So I'm just going to open that up in the background, see if we've got it working. All right, so if we open up the calendar here, so this is for Sunday, which is what we asked for inside Google Calendar. We've got the MCP party. Like you can see, it's invited Vic for us. And we did that all inside the chat of Claude, which is absolutely insane. There were no errors. There was no messing around. I didn't need any technical skills. And it was literally like a one-click integration. That is absolutely awesome. So now what we can do is just stack more apps inside Zapier and just keep connecting more and more. What I want to see is inside here, can we actually add tools directly inside the chat? I don't think we can, but I'm going to test this out. So let's say, can you add more tools to my MCP Zapier server? It does say you can. Let's have a look here. So we'll allow this always. It said, I'd be happy to help you add more tools to the MCP Zapier server. Let me access the functionality for you. And it's right, here's a configuration page. You can go to browse available interactions to start setting stuff up. So let's have a look at this. We'll open the link up. Perfect. All right. You can't do it inside the chat, but you can do it inside here. The other good thing is you've got the history, so you can actually see what you've done with this MCP server. So just to recap for you right now, the new update, we've set up PayPal integrations in one click. We've created our own MCP server with Zapier. We've connected that really simply with no errors. Then what we've done is we've connected it to something like Google Calendar just as a test, and that's worked perfectly by creating events inside the chat. Pretty amazing so far. So we're also, in the meantime, running a deep research report, like you can see right here. So it's used 685 sources, taken 14 minutes 34 seconds, and this is the other update from AI, right? Now, what I believe is you can also use the tools from Claude and connect those to your deep research agent, which is going to be super interesting as well. So you could say, okay, use this tool or this app from my MCP to help you do the research. So if we have a look here, it's now giving us a research plan, and then we can click on this and we have the full report. All right. So this is broken down all the latest details. It all seems factually correct, to be fair. Let's just publish this and then we'll open it. By the way, if you have any questions as we go along, just feel free to type in the chat and I'll be happy to help you. If you're struggling or you're not sure about something or you just want to test something, just let me know inside the chat and I can help you as we go along. Claude's new USB-C port is the details. All right, so it's correct. It's factually correct. It's got all the data. The other amazing thing here is like MCP has only got released in November 2024. And now you can already use them directly inside the chat and it's becoming more and more powerful. It's got details on what is the MCP, etc. Integrations, advanced research mode. So this is the research mode update. Claude's research capabilities have been enhanced with an advanced mode that can search across web sources, Google Workspace, and newly introduced integrations, basically the MCPs that we're setting up, right? The advanced research mode breaks down requests, conducts research, blah, blah, blah. Technical specifications, so here's all the details. Implementation requirements. Okay, nice. Now, one thing I'm interested about here is if we actually open up Claude inside desktop, can we use the new tools that were set up? So obviously we're using this inside the browser, but locally, can we use the tools that were set up? Then we'll go to tools and integrations. And look, it's all set up on the desktop as well. So this is 10 times more powerful because we've got Zapier and PayPal configured right there. Nice. All right. So any changes you make inside your browser will also sync to desktop as well, from what I can see. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into Claude. I'm going to paste the information about Zapier. Then we're going to plug this in and we'll say, okay, what could be some fun, mind-blowing integrations to add inside Zapier? MCP for Claude Chat. That's interesting. So you could have Claude check your calendar, summarize upcoming meetings, compile weather forecasts, and send you a personalized briefing via email to start your day. All right, let's try that. So if you go now inside here, configure, add tool, we'll put email, then we're going to say take action. From here, we'll say send email. Then we'll choose the account as me@juliangoller.com. You can auto select, which is pretty nice. So hit save there. And because it's connected to the internet as well, it should be able to just automatically do most of this. So let's now open up a new chat and we'll test this out. All right. Now I think as well, what I'll need to do is inside Zapier, inside the MCP of Zapier, we also need to add a new tool and we'll select Gmail. By the way, this is like NA10, but on steroids without having to have any technical expertise, right? It's so much easier to set this up versus something like NA10 or make.com. So we're going to go now inside Gmail. We'll say find email. We'll have it retrieve. Do we need that? Maybe not. What we can do is actually, if we go inside calendar here, select Google Calendar. We'll say find an event. Okay, great. So we'll connect to these tools. We've got Google Calendar, find event, Gmail, send email, calendar, create detailed event. All right. So let's just test this out. We'll go back to Claude. And I'll say, check my calendar, summarize upcoming meetings, compile weather forecasts, and send me a personalized briefing via email to start my day. I'll put check my calendar for Sunday. Let's test that out. So it's checking via the Google Calendar create detailed event method to find the calendar events. I thought it would use the find me event, but let's see how that goes. Now it's using the weather forecast, the web search option, and it's creating a Sunday briefing. And then also say use the Zapier find my tool. Let's see if because it doesn't select the right event. So to find emails, it was using the create detailed account, but it shouldn't be doing that. It should be using the Google Calendar option. So let's go back here. We might have to refresh the chat actually. Yeah, let's try that. Actually, what's interesting here is like I've added these new tools, but it's not configured that inside Claude. So I'm just going to double check here. Let's configure that. Gmail account, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then find event. All good. It's connected here. Maybe we have to reconnect the MCP because right now it's not updated inside the chat. Let's check. Just going to disconnect it and then reconnect it. So that is reconnected. Ah, look at that. So it's now got 5 tools, right? So the reason it failed before is because you have to disconnect it and then reconnect it if you add any new tools, which is annoying. I thought it would like auto sync, but still, that's how you do it, my friends. I've saved you a bit of time there. All right, so if we go back now, and we'll take exactly the same prompt that we had before, put in a new chat, compile weather forecasts for Manchester, UK, send me a personalized briefing, right? Let's see if that works. We'll allow that always. Yeah, look at that. So it's using the right MCP now. It says first, let me check your calendar. And then it uses the find event. Instead, before it was using the create event MCP. Now it's using the web search feature to search for the weather forecast in Manchester. From there, it's getting some more details. And now it's composing an email like you can see right here, with a breakdown. So we're going to click on Always Allow. And it's using the Gmail send email feature to figure that out. So now it said, I've completed your request. Here's a summary of what I've done. Check your calendar. Found the MCP party. Compiled weather forecasts. Sent a comprehensive email briefing. And let's double check that. So it says the email has been successfully delivered to your inbox, which is subject, blah, blah, blah. So now we're getting towards what I would say is almost like an AGI personal assistant, where you can connect any tool you want directly inside here, and then you've got the full details and it's good to go, right? So for example, if we go to my emails now, you can see the email. I mean, it did write it in Markdown instead of HTML, but you can easily change the prompt for that. And then it says your daily briefing, calendar, and weather for Sunday, May the 4th. And it says, good morning, here's your personalized daily briefing for the upcoming days. Here's what you're going to do. Here's what's coming up in the week. Here's weather forecasts. Here's a weekend forecast. Here's a week ahead. Here's some extra notes. Let me know if you need any additional information from Claude. That is crazy. That is crazy stuff. It's super powerful as well. How easy was that to set up? Really cool. It seems you could almost do anything with this now. So let's see what else we got. Content creation pipeline. All right. Ask Claude to draft blog posts and automatically add them to your WordPress site. Then schedule social media promotion posts on Twitter and X and LinkedIn. All right, let's test that one out. So if we go over to add tool inside Zapier here, I'm just going to refresh the page. There we go. Click add tool. We'll type in WordPress. I think we can just post from the chat inside Claude to WordPress. This is going to be super interesting. If you're an SEO, you're going to love this one. So if you click on create a post, we'll select the WordPress account. We'll select the account here. We might just have to reconnect it. Okay. I'm just going to grab my details in the background for my website. We just have to install the Zapier WordPress plugin. So let's do that. So we're going to go to WordPress, then we're going to go to add new inside plugins here. Here we go. Now from here, we're going to go into Zapier. Make sure we got that installed. There we go. We'll just have to update it, I think. Click on more details on that. That should be okay. All right, so you know what I'm doing here. I'm connecting WordPress to Zapier now. And it says you can choose post types. You can say have AI select a value for this, or let AI select from one of the choices. And then you can choose like whether it just posts pages, etc. So I'm just going to select post for now. We've got post type. And then it's going to select all the details for us automatically, which is beautiful because if you're using something like make.com, you usually have to just like manually insert every one of these. So we've got WordPress connected to Zapier inside of MCP. And then we can use that to create content. Now, the other thing I want to try is, can we connect this to X as well? I'm typing in X, but that's a lot of apps to go through to try and find it. Let's have a look what we got here. You could probably connect LinkedIn or something as well. Let's have a look at Facebook maybe. Facebook pages. Okay. Create a page post. So create a new page stream post on a page. Let's have a look. See if we can connect that. So I'm connecting this to Facebook as well. Boom. We've got Facebook logins added as well. That was super easy. I love the one-click integrations here. It's just amazing. So now we're going to choose, okay, we'll just go with that. AI can figure it out. All right, so we've got Facebook pages, we've got WordPress connected, Google Calendar, etc. Then we're going to go back and we'll reconnect Zapier. So we'll copy this. And if we go back to settings, just going to remove Zapier MCP and reconnect it. And then we'll click connect again. Oh, it's got a cheeky little error. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's connected now. Beautiful. So if we go inside the chat, select tools, we've got Zapier absolutely smashing it, right? So you can see, for example, what we can do now, this is going to be super interesting, is if I go inside here, right? I'm like, here's what I want you to do, create an SEO optimized article, blah, blah, blah. Then we're going to go back inside the chat. We've got the details. I'm going to say create an SEO optimized article for this. Keyword equals Gemini 2.5 Ultra. Leaks. Let's see what people are searching for on Google. Gemini 2.5 Ultra. Okay, cool. So we've got that. And then I'm going to say, yeah, create an SEO optimized article for this. Research the topic using the web. There were new announcements in the last 24 hours, right? Then I say for content creation, do this, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to say, then post this to WordPress and post a short Alex Hormozy style social media post to Facebook. Let's see if this can actually do its magic. All right, so essentially what we're trying to do here, whilst that's waiting, I'll show you what I'm talking about and why we're trying to do this, okay? So basically we're going from Claude, which is our AI agent, then we're going to fire this off to WordPress, and we're also going to fire this off to, yeah, so it's going to go from WordPress and then it's also going to go to Facebook, all right? And we're just doing this directly inside the chat here. All right, so it's right in the content, as you can see in the article. And then let's see if that can now post it directly to WordPress and Facebook. Now, also what I love about this is just automatically using the web search feature, which has made Claude 10 times more powerful. And then we'll see what we get back in a second. So we're plugging this in. It's doing its magic. It's using the Facebook Pages create page post feature. Antoine Rousseau says, is there any, just did this and lost all my money. Is there any customer support? I don't know, man. You might have to seek to Fiverr. If you want good customer service, get yourself on Fiverr. That's what I say. All right, so what we're doing here is we're creating the page on WordPress and we're trying to create the post on Facebook. I'm not sure if I actually did it or not, but it is creating the content on WordPress. The only thing that will probably change next time is I think this is writing it down in Markdown, right? Whereas we probably want to write this with something like HTML for the article. But the cool thing is if we can just go straight from Claude to WordPress, that's crazy powerful, right? So it's created the post here, but it's struggling with Facebook. So it's actually just giving us the document to copy and paste. By the way, if you want like all the prompts, etc. from today, then feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Also got a bunch of awesome SEO workflows inside the SEO Elite Circle. All right, just going to close some of these tabs. I'm getting tab anxiety, mate. All right, so if we go back to post now, and we'll see if this has been created or not. So since there are issues with the direct posting functions, you have to copy and paste, mate. Let's have a look. Yeah, that hasn't worked though. Same with Facebook. Let's have a look here. What I'm going to do to try and fix this is I'm going to try and add more tools from Zapier for WordPress. So if we type in WordPress here and just see if it can do some other stuff. So let's see here. Update a post. What else we got? Find a post. And then we'll test this again. So I'm going to do tests with WordPress, just see if this works with them, right? So number one is create a short SEO blog. Post to WordPress. Or publish to WordPress. Create a new user for me at juliangoldie.com. Let's see if this does its magic. So we'll give it 2 different MCP tests. It might just be like MCP tools don't work with WordPress and Claude, but we'll see. Or it might just be that I'm setting up wrong. Yeah, so it looks like it's totally failing on WordPress. Not great. Not great. All right, so it fails to create users and it fails to start sending posts to WordPress, just so you're fully aware. Don't want to only show you what's working, might as well show you stuff that's not working as well. Let's test it out with Google Docs. So for example, take action, create document from text, from template. Okay, let's try that. So we'll connect Google Docs. What else can we do? Let's try this. So add my upcoming trip details to my calendar and create a packing list on Google Docs. Michael says, Julian, on them Addies, lol. Actually, I don't even drink. I'm pretty tame, but I do have a lot of energy. So we'll go inside here. This should be connected. Just nice. Let's connect that again. All right, that's all integrated now. Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, so new chat. Add my upcoming trip details to my calendar and create a packing list on Google Docs. I'll just say make some random details up. That's a test. All right, so what we're doing here is we're trying to get the MCP AI agent to add my upcoming trip details, just like a random trip, and then add that to the calendar, create a packing to-do list based on that. So just to test like how good it is for creating Google Doc information and that sort of thing. So here's what it's done. It's created a calendar event for the business trip to Tokyo. As you can see, it's created a Google Doc entitled Tokyo Business Trip. And then it's also got information about Tokyo's weather in May, etc. And then I'll say, okay, can you send me a link to the Google Doc? Look at that. Works perfectly. So send me a link to the Google Doc as well. That's really cool. Created this Google Doc inside my drive. It's got the packing checklist for the trip. Let's just check the calendar now as well. So if we go inside the calendar, when is the trip? The trip is 15th of May. So if we check the calendar now, we'll skip forward to the 15th of May. So I can't see the details of the calendar invite, but let's check. See, now it's struggling with the Google Calendar integration. It's pretty cool that you can create Google Docs and that sort of thing, but there's some errors. It's not perfect. Let me tell you that. It's not magic. So you can see here it says error during execution, the app returned bad request. What you could do here is you could actually just go inside the calendar and then just add that option right there. But there's some really cool stuff you can do with this. Undeniably. Let's see what else we can do. So maybe we could add this to Discord as well. Let's try that. So if we go back to Zapier here, Discord, create a new post. We'll select the account. We just have to finish the setup there. We'll have a look through the list, see what we can connect. We can also create Google Forms here as well. That's interesting. Yeah, there's lots of cool stuff you can do with this. So to recap, we've done a lot there. We've connected this to loads of different apps. We've used integrations. We managed to create Google Docs, research trips, create calendar events, send emails, create detailed events. And then also we managed to set it up in one click inside Claude as well. Really powerful stuff. Then we also ran a deep research report, and we also connected Claude to the internet with web research as well. So my take is if you're a CEO, if you're running a business, etc., then this is really powerful. For example, stuff that you could do previously inside Manus, you could probably now just do directly inside here instead. So for example, let's take I'm just going to go in the AI profit board and we'll find some stuff. So if we go inside the classroom here, then we're going to go over to SPs. And then from here, let me find the Manus section. All right, so for example, this is the Manus presentation, right? Now, what I think we could do is we could take that, go into a new chat here, plug this in, and we'll say, okay, create a Google Doc that's beautifully designed on AI agents and how they could change the world by researching the latest data plus updates. Okay. And essentially, like, you're going to create like your own version, like your own super agent, kind of like Manus or Sooner, or for example, Deep Agent as well from Abacus, but you can plug it directly inside the Claude chat here. So let's wait for that to load. It is more expensive than Manus, just something to bear in mind there. But you're probably going to get more freedom with it as well. All right, let's say, give me the Google Doc link. Open up. Boom. There we go. So it's essentially created something very similar to what Manus did, but it's done it directly inside Google Docs from the chat, right? So you've basically got your super AI agent. The other cool thing here is like you could change this up. So what you could do is you could say research, so toggle the deep research option here, and then you can say research the latest updates on AI agents, create a beautiful report in Google Docs with all the data that you find, and then give me the Google Doc link, right? Make the report as detailed as possible. So now what we're doing is we're using the research feature, but we're using all those integrations that we found earlier, right? So if we click on research with tools, that's now going to start using its magic to research and deep research the web, and then we can come back to it and it's create like a research report for us. So that's super powerful as well. And then all the capabilities that Manus previously had, you can now generate inside Claude directly, right? So for example, deep research, reports, presentations, even for example, I wonder if you could connect this to OpenRouter and then like generate images and that sort of thing as well inside Claude. Some really cool stuff and interesting stuff you could do here. Let's try that. So if you go back to Zapier now, go to configure, add tool, ChatGPT, then generate an image. I wonder now if because you've connected Zapier to DALL-E, whether you can actually use that to now start creating images directly inside Claude, if that makes sense. Obviously, it's using DALL-E, so it's not using like the latest API from ChatGPT, but that could be very interesting. What else we got here? I wonder if you can connect Netlify as well, or something like that. Oh, wow. That actually worked perfectly. And that's crazy. All right, so you can now generate images directly inside Claude if you want to. It's just insane. So what you can say is you connect the DALL-E 3 image tool inside your Zapier MCP. Then you're going to say, right, use DALL-E 3 to generate an image inside the Claude chat. It'll ask you for the details about the image. You just go, okay, great, create an image of a cat, whatever you want. And then it's okay, I'll help you generate an image. And in the response here, you'll see the URL, right? So when you open up this URL, you can then open up the image. So if we go back here, there we go. There's the image of the cat. Good to go. And that was incredibly easy. Plus, you can't create images inside Claude previously, but now you can with this super agent. So absolutely wild. There's so much you can do that. Your only limitation is your imagination right there. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to all of my best prompts, tips, SOPs, etc., you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This community is focused on making more money and saving time with AI. So if you want to get all of my best prompts, tips, systems, workflows, AI agents, like we update the SOP section pretty much every single day with all the latest updates. Like this, for example, has already been updated with the MCP details from today. You got DeepSeek Prover inside there, Quen 3, Lutra. If you want to learn exactly what's working right now, what the latest updates are, then make sure you check out the SOP section inside the Profit Boardroom. This also comes with an awesome community, so you can post in the community, ask any questions that you have. And then additionally, you can jump on the weekly live calls, right? So you can jump on the weekly live calls here, get some training, answer any questions, meet some cool people. And also inside the Q&A call recording section here, if you miss any of the live streams, you can just watch back the call recordings. So awesome community, and all the notes from today are inside there, along with a detailed SOP on exactly how to use this stuff. Additionally, if you want to get a free one-to-one SEO strategy session that shows you how to get more leads, traffic, and sales, feel free to get that link in the comments description. We'll show you how we take websites from 0 to 145,000 visits this month and generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales and autopilot. On this free SEO link building acceleration session, you'll learn everything you need to grow your business, get more free leads, get more customers, etc. to your business to start growing. Feel free to get that link in the comments description. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one.